Yo, YouTube, what's popping? You know it's Sadiq and we're back again for another video, man. Yo, shout out to the Cole gang. I know we took a break, but I'm glad to see that the Cole gang is still out here and we're still popping. I know everybody's still grinding. You're still grinding, aren't you? Yeah. I know everybody's still grinding and everybody's still working towards their dreams. And what more could I ask for? Just be disciplined with you. With that said, it's good to be back. Let's go. You know, I've been doing some introspection, some deep thinking, and it causes me to realize that we have failed. And that is the cog on which this video will be spinning today. The theme of this video is failure. Now you might be asking yourself, what is failure? What is this great disaster that we all experience at some point in time? If you ask someone in the north, someone in the south, someone in the east or the west, they will have varying definitions of what failure is. Varying conceptions. But the truth is, in a very generic sense, failure is simply falling short of the mark. Failing to hit the target. Failure is missing. Now logic says that when you fail, it's over. When you fail, that's it. It's the end of the line, bro. Just give up. Just stop. But courage says, let's go. Courage says, what next? Because I was speaking with my mother this morning, and of course we were speaking of our religion, what I believe in, Christianity. And the text came up that the race is not for the swift, nor the battle for the strong, but for those who will endure unto the end. And it has changed my perspective on life in general. So life is no longer what the millennials would like, the get rich quick, or the living the good life right here, right now. You know, YOLO. It's never about that. It's a journey, a long distance race. So you need endurance. So failure, in a newly defined sense, is moving from disappointment to disappointment whilst on your journey, while pursuing the goal. And I'll revert to a video we did a couple months ago. What is the goal? The goal will forever to be a better you. We've all been indoctrinated to believe that failure is the enemy. We've all been brainwashed to think that failure is the end. And I was just running off into a poetic excursion in my brain. Failure is not the end. In fact, failure is your friend. Failure is your friend. But there are many things that we don't understand about our very own friend. Something that comes here to help us. You know, failure is like having a really ugly friend that nobody likes. But that person really has a good heart. That person has a good heart. But they're very socially awkward, so they can't be well calibrated around you. They don't say the right things. They don't make you feel good. But that person has very good intentions. Failure is your very own friend. And there are some things we need to learn about failure. Number one, misconception. Who told you that the road would be easy? Was it you? Yo, Robert, was it you? Well, I consulted my imaginary friends and it wasn't them. So who the hell told you that on the pursuit of your goal it would be smooth sailing? You know, we did a video about this back a couple months ago. The hardships that we experience in life, they are meant to forge us into indomitable characters. They are meant to strengthen us. I mean, the old metaphor or the old analogy, exercise builds muscle. Abraham Lincoln once said, hard times build strong men. And the road to success, the road to greatness, was never forged through the path of least resistance. So failure is the path of hardship. Failure is the path of chaos. And it's a road that we must take. I'm ranting. I remember what I was going to say. Number two. Alright, we already have number one. It won't be easy. It was never meant to be easy. So it needs to be hard. So number one, logic says for number one that we must embrace failure. Embrace it. Because if we change our perspective on this ugly friend, we begin to understand that this ugly friend has good intentions. Yes. And that this ugly friend will change us. So failure is in itself an opportunity for each individual to change. I had to put on my finger, I was distracted by it. So number two. Number two is self-reflection. The hardest thing for any person at any given time to do is to look on me. Well, not on me, because I'm quite handsome, I'm very pleasant to look at. But to look on the individual, to do introspection. Why? I don't know why the human brain is wired in such a way where the ego, the ego is meant to protect us. The ego is meant to tell us that we are good, that we are worthy, that we are beautiful. I mean, the ego is meant to give us that belief that in this world we are worth something. The ego has a negative side to it though. When it's time to do that introspection, the ego will say, no, you're not wrong. You're right. Keep going in that direction. So the ego is the enemy to failure. Did you get that? The ego is the enemy to failure. Remember, I've already asserted that failure is your friend. So if failure is your friend, it says that ego is your enemy. Ego is that beautiful friend you have. Oh gosh, very popular, very gregarious, and they tell you what you want to hear. Talk dirty to me, baby. They tell you what you want to hear. They whisper sweet nothings in your ears, and when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, instead of telling you what you needed to hear, instead of giving you tough love, you end up in disappointment. You end up perpetuating the same disappointments over and over and over again. And Einstein said, it is the mark of an uneducated mind to go on and on and on in the same roads, expecting different results. So in doing self-reflection, you have to be honest with yourself about yourself. Be honest with you about you. Sit down, get pen and paper, do some writing, do some deep thinking. Think about you. Why did this happen? What did I do? Was I wrong? Could I have done better? And 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100, you will find out that you are flawed. You are a flawed character. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with being a flawed character. Absolutely nothing wrong. What? The greatest disservice you could be, or the greatest disservice that you could do to yourself, is to try to appear perfect, or to feign your perfection. And that's the ego's job. But I won't rant anymore. That's number 2. Introspection. So those are the 2. Now we've changed our perspective. Now we realize that failure is our friend. That failure is your personal ugly friend. Love him or her, whichever you prefer. Or whether you want it to be an animal or whatever. Love it. Embrace it. Because it is meant for your benefit. Failure is your opportunity to grow. But growth can only take place outside of the box of your ego. So remove yourself from this box. Take on the flames of failure. Be burnt by it. Oh yes, scar your ego. Come back better the next time. Come back better the next time. I hate those strokes. So, in operating in our daily lives, we will come upon failures because it is necessary. We will come upon failures because life was not meant to be easy. In fact, when you weigh the happiness and the hardships in your life, we will often experience way more hardships in life than we do happy moments. And I read a brilliant book the other day. I'm still in the process of reading it. It's a classical novel by Leo Tolstoy. One of the longest novels ever. It's a behemoth. It's huge. I should show you guys. It's entitled War and Peace. And in reading that book, I learned a crucial lesson. That life is long. Life is long. We must never underestimate how long life is. And we must never underestimate the power of mistakes. We must never underestimate the power of hardships. Because these hardships inevitably lead us to appreciate the true essence of life. I cannot tell you what the true essence of life is. Only you can find that out for yourself. Our answers are different. You can't cheat off my paper. So until next time, this is your boy Sadiki saying, bless up, one love. You know, it's Cold World Motivation. Give me them inspiration. Alright, how the rhyming go again? I'm off my game. But you know we're not lame. Peace, you beast.